Hi everyone, I'm Miss Norma and I'm with the Boys and Girls Clubs of Metro Los Angeles. Welcome back to College Bound. Last week, we discovered what a career is and some careers that you may not have known existed. This week, we will be learning about the different types of colleges that there are and how college is important in order to begin the career of your choice. So for today, you are simply going to need the worksheet that is attached to the program plan, paper and scissors if you don't have a printer to print the worksheet, crayons, pencils, markers, whatever you want to use to decorate the worksheet that we're going to work on for the day. Before we begin, it's important to go over some new words that you will be learning today. Some of these you may have already heard, but you probably weren't sure what they meant, and if you did, kudos to you. All right, for the first word for today will be college. So college is the most common term used to talk about where you get your education after you finish high school, but there are other words used to describe specific types of education experiences. An example of this is, after high school, I want to go to college. The next word is university. So a university is usually considered different from a college because of the many different levels of education that you can complete. For example, at a university, you can earn a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, and even a PhD, which is a doctorate. So a college usually is just, a community college where you can earn an AA, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. Which brings me to the next word, campus. Campus is the grounds of a school, college, or university. Your school is located on a campus, so it applies to any kind of school that you know of. The next word is community college. So community college, like I mentioned earlier, provides 2-year degrees, usually known as associate degrees. It could be Associate of Arts, Associate of Science. It all depends on your major. And they provide those 2-year degrees in certain areas of study. And many community colleges prepare you to transfer to a 4-year college or university to pursue a bachelor's degree, master's, or doctorate. If you don't go straight into a 4-year university after high school, you can go to a community college to earn an associate's degree as well as transfer to a 4-year university afterwards. And the next word that we're going to go over is a public/state college. They're the same thing. The most common used term in California is public, a public college. So colleges that are funded by the government and have to follow certain guidelines that they set for funding reasons, but they offer a lot of different majors and different areas of study that you can do. An example is the college that I attended. UC San Diego is a public university. And the next word that we're going to go over is a private college. So private colleges, they don't receive any funding from the government, so they set their own rules and guidelines. A lot of them tend to focus on religion. Doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be religious or follow that religion, but do expect to take some core classes in the religion that they focus on. That also doesn't mean that they only focus on religious. A lot of other private colleges are just privately funded by big donors. And one of the examples that you can use is USC, which is right here in our neighborhood, is the University of Southern California is a private college. Usually in private colleges, classrooms are a lot smaller. The student to teacher ratio is smaller, and that means that, for example, there might be 30 students to 1 teacher, whereas in a public university is a lot bigger, where you'll have 50 to 200 students in a classroom with a professor. And the next word we're going to learn today is college pennant. So a pennant is a flag that represents a college or university. It usually includes the name of the school and its mascot. And this word is important because we're going to be creating a pennant later on today, but I want to make sure you understand what we're reviewing for the day. So the last word is mascot. A mascot is an animal or thing or object that represents a college sports team. Mascots are considered to bring good luck. You all have mascots at your schools. All middle schools and high schools and even elementary schools have mascots. So the mascot for UC San Diego is the Triton, and that is where I went. Like I mentioned, you guys are going to learn that about me. I went to UC San Diego. There's one thing you're going to learn is that I went to UC San Diego. Okay, so did you learn any new words today? Are there any words that you weren't sure what they meant, but you used them before? Did you already know what a college pennant was? So for today, we are actually going to be doing a little bit of research. I want you to click on the link that is on the program plan so that we can start discovering what college might be a good fit for you. I know in the past we mentioned location is important. If you saw the last the last program plan where we toured a university, the campus location is important. So all of that we're going to take into account, and we're going to start researching possible colleges that you might be a good fit for. So once you click on the link, it'll take you to this website. On this website, you're only going to focus on a couple of the college search criteria. So you're not going to worry about test scores and selectivity. You're not going to worry about, well, I know we reviewed this, so click on type of school. If you know already, if you want to go to a 2-year college or a 4-year college, whether it's public, private, do you want it to be small, medium, or large? Do you want it to be all women, all men, or both, which is co-ed? That's what co-ed means. Or if you are religious and you prefer to go to a college that does focus on your religion, you would select this. So I'm going to select it, and I want to go to a 4-year college. I want it to be public because public schools tend to be cheaper than private schools. And that's tuition. We're going to go over tuition in a couple of weeks when we go over how to pay for college. And I don't really care how big the school size is. This is where you should consider, do you need a lot of help from your teacher right now? Do you prefer having your teacher's attention? Or do you kind of just go with the flow and you can learn on your own? So I'm going to put large is good for me. And I want it to be co-ed. And then I don't have a preference for religion. The next tab that you're going to focus on is location. Okay, so with do you want to move away from home to go to college, or do you want to stay nearby? If you want to stay near your house, you're gonna enter your zip code if you know it. If not, you can just focus on what I'm gonna do next. And then select how far away from your zip code you want it to be. If you don't know your zip code and you want to do that route, ask your parents to tell you what the zip code is where you live. I'm gonna actually say that I want to go anywhere in California, so I'm gonna click on states. So scroll down to California. And you can choose as many states as you like. So if you have family in Texas, if you have family in New York, anywhere in any other state, you can select that right here and add it as a criteria to search. Or if you want to go to college somewhere outside of the United States, you can also select that piece. I'll show you. You can go to Africa, you can go to Europe, the Americas. So it's all up to you. And remember, this doesn't mean that you're gonna go there. This is just exploring what's out there, and I want you to really explore and see what's out there, and maybe you find a school that you really have your heart set on after this. So after location, you're gonna go to campus and housing. So what kind of weather do you like? What kind of setting do you like? Do you like the mountains, being it rural, the forest, or do you rather it be in a neighborhood, with families and stuff like that? Or would you like there to be urban, kind of in the city? Is it big city, small town, somewhere in between? So this is what you would select for setting. I'm going to select urban for big city and suburban. Okay, just gonna wait for it to search. And I want to live on campus. I lived on campus when I went to college, and I really loved being on campus and waking up, rolling out of bed, and just going to class. And working on campus too was great. So I recommend that if you all go to college, definitely live on campus and experience it for at least a year. And then the next one is housing availability. So sometimes some colleges guarantee housing for first year. Other times it is very competitive because they don't have a lot of on-campus housing available. So you have to apply as soon as you get in. So if you care about the college being able to guarantee you housing, then you will click on one of these. I'm going to leave these blank because it doesn't matter to me. If the next option is special housing. So what kind of housing do you want your college to have? Do you want to have co-ed housing? That usually means that boys and girls live in the same floor and, they don't live in the same room. Well, now sometimes you can, but most of them don't. But you probably do share a common space or restrooms. Or you want to just live with all men or all women, or you want to, make sure that college offers fraternity or sorority housing because you want to join a fraternity or sorority when you get to college and you want to live in their housing. There is a special to get into a fraternity and sorority, so you can't just live in their housing. You actually have to go through a process to enter one. If you have a disability, then you would click on special housing for disabled students. And then the last one is the college must allow you to bring your car as a first year. So some colleges will not allow you to bring a car to college because they don't have enough parking available for everyone. So if you want to make sure that you can bring your car, then you will select this. So I'll select that one. If you already know what major you want to major in, and this is going to be important because we haven't talked about majors and we will talk about majors in a couple of weeks, but if you think you know what you want to study when you get to college, it's important that you research the colleges because you want to make sure that the college you want to go to offers that major or that area of study, because if they don't, there's no way of getting it by the time you get there. So I'm going to leave it blank because when I was in middle school and high school, I was undecided. I didn't know what I wanted to study, so I'm just going to leave that blank. The next one is if you are interested in any of the following programs, you want to make sure that your college has these programs, you will click on one of them. I am going to click on study abroad. What that means is that you apply to study in a different country and you go there for a semester, but you still pay the same amount of money that you would pay going to the same college here. And then I'm going to leave the rest blank because it doesn't matter to me. Okay. And then you keep going through the tabs, and then the next tab is sports and activities. Are there any specific sports that you want the college to offer, or activities, or Greek life, like I mentioned earlier? And I don't care about any of these, so I'm going to leave them blank. But if you care, please make sure you select them, and that way you get a better list of colleges that would be a good fit for you. So we can skip the academic credit, the pain, because we haven't talked about that. We can also skip the additional support programs. And the last one is going to be diversity. So we are going to be talking about these types of schools next week. If you're interested in a historically Black college or university, then you would click on that one, and we'll talk about it next week as far as like what that means. Or if you want a Hispanic serving institution or a tribal college and universities, then you would click on those. Or if you really want a certain percentage of the students that go to that college to be a minority student, then you would slide this over into whatever preference. So it doesn't really matter for me, so I'm going to leave it blank. So once you select all of those, you're actually going to push here, close, and see results. Okay, so based off of my search that I just did with you all, there are 5 colleges that I would be able to attend, well, that fit the criteria that I selected. So as you can see, most of the UCs are on here. Surprisingly, UC San Diego did not make the list, so I'm not sure how that happened. But a lot of these other schools were schools that I applied to when I applied in high school, so that's pretty cool. So once you're interested in one of these, click on the school and kind of explore it. I'm gonna click on UC Irvine. Okay, so as you can tell, it gives you what it is. It's a large 4-year public university. It's co-ed. It's in a small city in a suburban setting, and it's primarily a residential campus. It offers bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degrees. So I'm going to show you the pennants that you're going to be creating. So going back to the activity sheet that we have for today, you have a pennant. Now, if you don't have a printer at home, that's okay. You can just draw a triangle across the whole page, just like the one that's showing right now, and write in the questions that we're asking. So the first question was, what college or university are we looking at? So we're looking at University of California, Irvine, and on here it's giving me all the facts. So the type of school, it's a public university, and it's located in Irvine. Now, in order to find the degree offered that you are interested in, you're going to click on Majors and Learning Environments. And on here, it'll actually tell you what are the most popular majors, but also you click on this tab, it tells you all of the majors that they offer. So look through the list and see if anything interests you. The slightest, and go ahead and include that in your pennant. We already went over the type of school. The mascot. In order to find the mascot, you're gonna go to Campus Life. And you're gonna go to the Sports tab. And the team name is Anteaters. So UC Irvine is known as the Anteaters. All right, and then the last thing that you guys are looking for is the school colors. So this website doesn't tell us what the school colors is. So what we're gonna do is you're gonna go back to At a Glance and you're gonna visit their website. So most of the time you can tell what the school colors are by their website and their logo. So for UC Irvine, it is navy blue and yellow. I know that off the top of my head, just because I know all UCs are that color. So if you do get a UC, it's navy blue and gold. Those are the colors for all UCs in the state of, well, there's only UCs in the state of California. So if you can't find the color on the website, just let me know and I'll find out for you. You could also explore their website a little more and you can find it on here. So going back to my pennant now, as you guys can tell, I pre-did this with information from UCSD. So just so you guys know, I didn't use that website, but it is definitely what I want you guys to use for it, to get to know a little bit more about the colleges that you might be a good fit for once you graduate from high school. So let me go back to the website. Sorry. Okay, so I want you all to explore this. Just because I didn't ask a certain question, start exploring the different colleges that are on here. You can check out how large of a school it is, when you're supposed to apply, when you're a senior, what kind of tests you have to take, majors, is it a semester or a quarter system, which we're also going to go over in the coming weeks for you guys. So start looking at things and start writing down any questions that you may have that you don't know what that is. So let's say you come across something for a school and you're like, well, I that doesn't make any sense for me. Make sure you write it down and you send me those questions so that I can make sure to address them in any of our upcoming videos. Make sure that you all explore all of your choices, not just the ones that look popular or familiar to you. As you can tell here on this side, you can check out the rest of the schools that were selected. Oh, actually, UC San Diego did get selected for me. So I'm going to click on that one if we want to explore that one. But check them all out so that you have an idea of what might be a good school for you. So I hope you enjoyed getting to know new schools. Please make sure you complete your pennant, and you can take a picture of it, or you can save it on your desktop, and you can upload it to our Google Classroom. If you do upload it to our Google Classroom in College Bound, you are going to get 20 Boys and Girls Club points. And remember that we add up all the points that you receive at the end of the month, and we'll have a Boys and Girls Club store where you'll be able to purchase things with your points, and we will be mailing out those things to you so that you don't have to worry about picking them up at any club. So as you all can tell, there are so many different types of colleges and universities out there, and it's important to start looking at them now so you have a good idea of what you need to do right now in middle school and high school to get there. I hope you were able to discover a little about what your future college might look like. So next time we will start exploring the different types of colleges and universities that exist. So please make sure you come by next time so that you can learn a little bit more about college. Bye!